Before I begin my predictions for Impact Hard to Kill, quick update for Wrestle Kingdom 16 from Yokohama, New Japan against Noah tomorrow. Apparently, Kenta is not cleared to team with Sugiura-gun, as during his match with Tanahashi, he ended up suffering more lacerations on his back, a dislocated left hip, broken nose, severed tendon in one and a severed tendon in one of his fingers. So Sugiura-gun is down a man, and they need to find someone to replace Kenta. If I had to guess, it's going to be two of their other two members, either Kendo Kashin or Kazuyuki Fujita. Those are my guesses. But on to Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill, coming from the Bomb Factory in Dallas tomorrow night. Hello, Darwin. We've got 9 matches on the card. Main card is 8. There is a pre-show match I want to briefly cover. A fatal 4-way between Jake Something, the Laredo Kid, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay. I haven't kept up to speed as much as I would want to with the other promotions that are not either the WWE, AEW, or New Japan in recent weeks. That said, this should be an interesting matchup in how it pans out, but I'm going to take Chris Bay to win this match. Now we get to the main card, and I think they should kick it off with this match. The first ever Knockouts Ultimate X, with the winner becoming the next number 1 contender to the Knockouts title. In this matchup, we will see the Hot Mess, Chelsea Green, Lady Frost, Alisha Edwards, the Demon Assassin Rosemary, Tasha Steelz, and the digital media champion, Thick Mama Pump, Jordynne Grace, collide. Now, for those who don't know what an Ultimate X is, it's basically some form of a scaffold match. You have 4 scaffold structures at each corner of the ring. In the middle of those structures are 2 wires that form an X. In the center is usually an X or a championship belt, and we're using the former as this signifies number 1 contender status. The goal is not to get a pinfall or a submission victory. You got to climb up the structure, shimmy yourself across the cables, and pull the X down. Simultaneously, everyone else is trying to stop you from grabbing that X. So, who, in my opinion, wins this match? Many will say it's strength that wins this match, but in my opinion, it's speed, upper body strength, and stamina that wins an Ultimate X. As well as ingenuity. I saw one live back at Bound for Glory in 2015. As for who wins this match, in my eyes, I'm going to go with the Hot Mess, Chelsea Green, to win this one. Especially since it would be fitting should her boyfriend, Matt Cardona, win the Impact World Championship. But I'm not going to get to that just yet. Next up, Josh Alexander against Jonah. Alexander, the walking weapon's been on a war path since basically being ambushed by Moose and losing the Impact World title at Bound for Glory after Moose cashed in his Collier Shot Gauntlet opportunity. And did it while Alexander's wife and son were in the ring. Despicable, isn't it? Since then, Alexander has been demanded to more give him Moose. However, a new recruit to New Japan Strong and by proxy Impact showed up and ambushed him. Jonah, the former Bronson Reed. So Jonah Rock is going to be the rock that's in the way of the walking weapon. I'm going to take Jonah to win this one, mostly to give Alexander an obstacle he has to overcome over the next few months before he can get his hands on Moose. And I think that's either going to go down at the earliest, it's going to go down Rebellion. At the latest, this happens, Moose versus Alexander happens at Slammiversary. Next up, 10-man hardcore war. Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Heath, and Rhino join forces to take on the diabolical quintet of the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows, and the Machine Gun, Karl Anderson, and Violent by Design, Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Doering. I'm going to take Good Brothers and BBD to win this one. That's the way I'm just seeing it. And no matter how I don't like it. Next up, for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, the Octopus Johnathan Gresham defends against Chris Sabin. Gresham has been going out of his way to defend the title since Ring of Honor closed its doors back at Final Battle, saying he's wanting to reestablish true honor to the title. Because in his mind and in his words, Ring of Honor during the pandemic, when they were basically closed door, basically used the Pure division as an excuse to try to get itself back on its feet. A last resort, if you will. And he had to carry that division for almost a year when he was the Pure champion. And I do agree with Johnathan to some level on that complaint. But now that he's a world champion, he's really got a lot of lofty expectations to hold up. The likes of Jay Lethal, Bryan Danielson, Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, Nigel McGuinness, Kevin Steen, Jay Briscoe, Adam Cole, Davey Richards. Yeah, no, I didn't say Richards. Morishima, etc., and etc. I mean, CM Punk, and so forth. Johnathan is going to have a lot to do, but I think he can easily get through Sabin. Chris Sabin is not leaving the Bomb Factory with the Ring of Honor World title in hand. Gresham will not allow it. Next up, X Division Championship match. Last chance match for the challenger. Steve Maclin challenging Trey Miguel. If Maclin loses, he never challenges Miguel for the title again. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm going to take Steve Maclin to win and finally put his stamp and stake his claim as the X Division champion. Where it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. Next up, the semi-main event. Texas Death Match for the Knockouts title. Mickie James, Hardcore Country, defends against the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. This is not going to be for the faint of heart. On paper, this is Mickey's wheelhouse. She's been in a hardcore war or two before. Deonna is a technician, not known to get violent to this extreme. So, who do I believe comes out on top? I'm going to go with the upset here. Deonna Purrazzo walks in the challenger and walks out Impact Knockouts champion once again, because she's going to challenge Roxy some point down the line for the Ring of Honor Women's title. Will she win it? I don't know. Well, at least in regards to the ROH title, I don't know if she'll win it. Finally, the main event, a triple threat match. W. Morrissey, he takes on Matt Cardona, who take on the defending champion, Moose. I'm gonna be blunt. I've never been the biggest fan of Moose's heel turn. This one I'm somewhat warming up to, but it's still got a long way to go for me. And I don't like the fact that Moose won the title by basically strong arming a ref into ringing the bell while a man's wife and son were still in the ring. Will he do the same to to Cardona if Chelsea tries to get involved? I think he will. And because of how underhanded he is, I am going to make this my lock it up pick of this pay-per-view. To quote an old friend who used to do this on YouTube from 07 to 09, here's my lock it up. No, you lock it up. You better lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up pick of the pay-per-view will be Moose walking in and out of Dallas, still the Impact World Heavyweight Champion. And that's all I've got for this. Leave a comment, smash the like, sub to the channel. Mets2128 signing out. Goodbye. Good night. Bang.